A quick disclaimer here at the beginning of the video. I'm making this guide for beginners, new players, maybe mid-level players that are just trying to pick up the Destruction Warlock and want to try this class out. If you're an advanced player, I'm not going to be going over anything too advanced in this guide, and you probably don't need my help anyways, because you're probably already pretty good at the Warlock. So again, I'm just making this guide with the intent of helping others. If it helps someone get better at the game, I'm happy to do it. I like making guides. And at the end of the day, I think everyone should play the game the way they want to play the game. The stat priority for the Destruction Warlock goes as follows. You should be prioritizing intellect upgrades, then haste, then critical strike, then versatility, and then finally mastery. This is with your 4 set, so keep that in mind, but you should be trying to get your 4 set as fast as possible anyways, so just prioritize these stats. Going over enchants, consumables, and gems. For enchants, we're going to put Celestial Guidance on our weapon, Eternal Stats on our chest, Eternal Intellect on our bracers. For our rings, we should be using Tenet of Haste, and on your cloak you can put Fortified Avoidance. Now for gemming, it's the same thing. We're prioritizing haste, so you're going to use Quick Jewel Clusters. For food, you should either eat from a feast, or you should be eating Tenebrous Crown Roast Aspic, which is the haste food. You should be running Potions of Spectral Intellect. You can use those in dungeons or raids to give yourself a little more intellect for a little while. You should be using a flask, and if you really want to push yourself more, you can put Shadow Core Oil on your weapon and run Augment Runes. I want to talk about our Mythic Plus conduits and talents, and then I'll talk about rating talents and rating conduits. Now, you should be running the Night Fae Corian tree for Mythic Plus, and again, if you're just trying to do 15s, this is what you should take: is Ashen Remains, Demonic Momentum, Accrued Vitality, Condensed Animasphere, Soul Eater, and Fell Celerity. Now, you can change a couple things out here and there. On tyrannical weeks, you could definitely run something like Infernal Brand in place of Soul Eater, because your blasphemies and your infernals will do more damage to a single target, which is really helpful. It has like a huge stack. So it's super helpful on tyrannical weeks. You could also run Dreamweaver if you like. The reason we're running Corian is because of something like First Strike. It just gives us like way more critical strike chance until an enemy damages us. You could also run Dreamweaver because of something like Field of Blossoms. So if you're not going to have to move a lot and you can stay in your Field of Blossoms for the full 12 seconds and get that 15% haste, it's really good. Now, Dreamweaver does give us an extra potency conduit, so you could run something like Duplicitous Havoc, you could run Combusting Engine or Infernal Brand, just some of our better destruction conduits for Mythic Plus. So I would run Corian. If you want to have more haste, you could run Dreamweaver just for Field of Blossoms, and you also get an extra potency conduit. If you're just trying to do 15s, Dreamweaver might be nicer. You can even make mistakes because of Pod Tender, but these are the breakdown of the conduits you should run. This is pretty much your typical. You can mix a couple things up here and there. The Destruction Warlock's super good, so I mean, you could probably not. I've actually run a couple dungeons on my Warlock without conduits active, because I've accidentally been in my switched back and forth between like Necrolord and Night Fae, and I've had like no conduits active. You still do pretty good damage even without conduits, so just be aware of that. But run Corian. Now, I wanted to talk about talents because this is your typical talent build right here. You can run Flashover, Reverse Entropy, anything in this row. The high-end Mythic Plusers run Dark Pact, just so you have like an extra survivability cooldown. But if you're just trying to do like 10s or 12s or 15s, anything in this row is good. Inferno is really good. I've seen a few high-enders taking Cataclysm, but Inferno is super good. Mortal Coil is probably your best take in row 40. In 45, we're going to take Reign of Chaos for Mythic Plus, and then at 50, we're going to take Soul Conduit. The only thing I've seen changed out is on tyrannical weeks, some Warlocks will run Eradication for killing bosses faster, just 10% extra damage, or if you're just cleaving 2 adds, you know, get your Chaos Bolts out with Havoc. That's very situational. I'd say only run Eradication if you're running like high Tyrannicals, like 15 and above. Otherwise, this is your talent build for Mythic Plus for the Destruction Warlock. for raiding on the Destruction Warlock, you could stay as Night Fae and run the Dreamweaver tree, but if you want to be the absolute best, you should go Necrolord because of Decimating Bolt. The conduits we're going to be running are Ashen Remains, Resolute Barrier, Combusting Engine, Fell Celerity, Fatal Decimation, and Demonic Momentum. Now the reason this is so good in raid is because of Decimating Bolt and what Unity does for us. So Unity is going to, so what Decimating Bolt is, it increases the damage of our next 3 Incinerates, but with Unity, it also gives it a 100% crit chance and a 50% increased critical strike damage. So it just makes our single target absolutely insane, especially with 4-piece. You're just going to pump, really. Looking at our talents, we're gonna switch some things up here. We're gonna be running Eradication, Reverse Entropy. Anything in the level 30 row you can run depending on how mobile you want to be. I like taking Burning Rush just to be able to get to things when Soul Shape is down. But you could probably run like Demon Skin for normal and heroic, honestly. You run Dark Pact, it doesn't really matter in this row. We're running Cataclysm because Cataclysm does a decent amount of damage and it applies Immolate. So it's good for bosses with ads, it's good for just casting Cataclysm. Just in general, every 30 seconds, it's just the best talent in this row for single target because Destroloc's row right here is really an AoE row, but Cataclysm's the best if you're thinking single target or boss fight. In level 40, you could really take whatever you want. It doesn't super matter. I'm thinking about most of the raid fights. It doesn't super matter too much. In level 45, we're taking Roaring Blaze because we're going to be casting a lot of Conflagrates. We're going to be casting a lot of Immolate, a lot of Incinerates, and then in the level 50 row, we're taking Instability because more crit is more damage for us. This is insane. The Destrolock is insane in raid. You should be going Necrolord. You can stay Night Fae if you want to, but I highly recommend playing with this because on fights like, what is it? It's not very Mothras. Dude, why can't I think of what it is? I'm totally thinking of Legion right now. Lords of Dread. Okay, Mal'Ganis and Contessa. You will do insane damage with this build because of Decimating Bolt, because of Havoc, just because of the legendary we end up running for single target or just for raiding. You're gonna do crazy damage with this build. So definitely go Necrolord. Highly recommend it. It's super fun. I love it. I think you'll love it too. Let's talk about what legendaries and gear you should be trying to acquire on the Destruction Warlock. So the main thing obviously is your 4 set is super powerful. The Blasphemies are pretty much just Infernals, so they just play really well with our kit. We just do crazy AoE, so you definitely want to get your 4 set for raiding, and just for single target, the Blasphemies are just free extra damage. The 2 legendaries we're going to be running are for AoE and Mythic Plus, we're going to run Wilfred's Sigil of Superior Summoning, so every Soul Shard we spend reduces the cooldown of Summon Infernal by 1.5 seconds, so we just get more Infernals out in a dungeon. You can pretty much get them out, I'd say every other pull, depending on the dungeon, depending how long fights last. For a single target, we're going to be running Madness of the Ajakir, which every time we cast Chaos Bolt increases the damage of Chaos Bolt by 25% and reduces the cast time of Chaos Bolt by 20% for 4 seconds. So it just makes it so that you want to cast 2 Chaos Bolts in a row. So it's really nice when you get a free cast from your 4 set and then you can cast another Chaos Bolt. Now you don't want to just try to be a Chaos Bolt cannon, because if you do that, you won't maintain your Immolate, or you won't maintain getting Conflagrates up, and especially in single target, you won't be doing as many Incinerates as you want to. So I'd say this is best when it's instant cast Chaos Bolt into another Chaos Bolt, and then you can kind of go into Conflagrate and Incinerate and make sure that you're maintaining the other parts of your rotation, which we'll go over when I talk about the single target rotation. Now, the other thing you should try to get, I mean, a big thing that a lot of people are running is the first Sigil. So if I Soul Shape here, and I say my Soul Shape goes on cooldown, we can use the first Sigil to reset that cooldown. It's going to give us a bunch of verse, which isn't super important. So I could first Sigil here, and then it resets Soul Shape. So you pretty much get 2 blinks. This is a really good trinket, but our best in slot trinket that we really want to get is from Mists of Terna Scythe. You definitely want to try to get this as soon as possible. It's evaded me for a while. It's the Unbound Changeling. It's pretty much like a Dragonspine trophy if you've ever played BC. It's like just a random proc chance of haste, which is super good. I think it's 1.5 procs per minute, so you get one about every minute 30 seconds. You'll get an Unbound Changeling proc, and it's just super amazing and super good. But to prioritize your gear, depending on if you want to raid or if you want to Mythic Plus for raiding, get your AoE or your single target legendary. For Mythic Plus, get your Mythic Plus legendary. Obviously, you want to get Unity. I still need to upgrade mine to 291. And then your 4-set and Unbound Changeling. I want this little porcupine so bad. The way you want to look at our single target rotation is it's more of a priority list. Different things affect it depending on like if you have an Infernal up, if you're using Dark Soul instability, things like that. So our priority as a Destro Lock is to maintain Immolate. We can pretty much do that with Cataclysm. That's why we take Cataclysm. You should cast Cataclysm, have to cast one Immolate to keep it up, and then cast another Cataclysm when it comes off a cooldown. You want to cast Chaos Bolts if you're about to cap on Soul Shards. You want to cast Conflagurate so you don't cap out on stacks. You always want to be generating another Conflagurate charge. And then we're just casting Incinerate to generate Soul Shards. That's our main rotation, which is just a priority. It changes, it all depends on things. Now what I want to show you here is I don't have 4-set, but I am running the single target legendary. So I am just missing out on my Blasphemies, which does really suck, and it's a bummer. I have been screwed out of pants for like 5 weeks in a row on my lock. I really need to get a pair, but in time that'll change and I'll have that. Now, to look at a pull or a rotation, what I would probably end up doing here is I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt so that my Chaos Bolt is in the air right as the tank pulls the boss. I'm going to cast my Infernal, I'll probably end up casting Cataclysm into Decimating Bolt, into Conflagurate, into 3 Incinerates. So the pull is going to look something like this. So it would be the Chaos Bolt is in the air. I'm going to pop Dark Soul. I'm going to get my Infernal down. I'm going to get Cataclysm down. Decimating Bolts, Conflagurate, spam Incinerates. And then I can also get my Chaos Bolts in here where I need to. And then you just maintain what you need to maintain. So I made sure Immolate stayed up. I'm trying not to cap on Soul Shards. I got a free Chaos Bolt, so I'm going to cast that. And then it's just maintaining Immolate, it's making sure Conflagurate doesn't cap out, it's making sure you don't cap out on Soul Shards. Again, I'm explaining this while I'm doing this, I'm not perfectly paying attention, but I shouldn't have casted that Immolate, I had Cataclysm available. It comes down to a lot of just feeling for your class and understanding, you know, paying attention in things like weak auras. Like I know Conflagurate's capped out now, so I cast it. Don't want Immolate to fall off. I'm good on Soul Shards, but I'm also trying to maintain Eradication and my Chaos Bolt buff from my Legendary. Got a Decimating Bolt up here, so we're just gonna cast that because we can. Cataclysm's coming up, so I'm gonna cast Cataclysm. I'm gonna do my free Chaos Bolt. And it just really is managing, you know, what you need to do next. It's gonna be random, it's gonna be not necessarily random, but it's just gonna come down to the point in the fight where you're at. Just be aware. Let's take a look at an Aoe Pole for the Destruction Warlock.
This is where the fun begins.
Now the main things you want to be aware of in Aoe Pulls is maintaining as many Immolates as you can. So we don't run Cataclysm in this spec obviously. So we're just going to try to maintain as many Immolates as we can, get as many Rain of Fires out as we can, and you want to weave in Havoc when you don't have any more Immolates to pop up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Immolate a target, Havoc, Immolate, get as many Rain of Fires down as I can, probably pop all my cooldowns, and then get as many Rain of Fires down as I can, and then go into like a Havoc window where I'm casting Incinerate. So this is kind of what I do on AoE. And I do have my 4-set for this, so we will want to get as many Blasphemies as we can, and we're obviously gonna try to spend as many soul shards as we can. So take a look here, it's gonna be like boom, boom. I'm gonna Havoc so that I double cast this, and then I'm gonna drop my Infernal, I'm gonna drop Soul Rot, and then I'm going to oh, not Havoc, the target that you have there, but we're just gonna try to get as many Rain of Fires down as we can and maintain as many Immolates as we can. So this one's gonna fall off. I see they're starting to fall off, so I'm gonna start trying to get them up. And we should have a Blasphemy coming soon, so that's really good for us. So here's gonna be our Blasphemy, and then I got another free Rain of Fire. The AoE on this class is so fun. So I see that I have a Havoc coming up, so I'm going to drop that so I can generate more shards even. We're gonna get another free Blasphemy coming out. And then Immolates have fallen off, so we want to try to get those up. Maintain our Immolates. And again, fights won't last this long, but it's really fun to just sit here and manage these things as a Destro Lock in AoE. Especially longer fights are very fun because you're just generating so many soul shards and you're doing so much AoE because of Rain of Fire. Immolates are falling off, so I'm going to start refreshing those. Dropped a Havoc on that one so I could get 2 up at the same time. We have another free one. And you can use Conflagrate a lot here to generate extra soul shard fragments, which is really nice, especially if you're not clicked onto your Havoc target. I have another Blasphemy that's going to come out right away here. So there you have it. That's the basic Destruction Warlock guide. I will be releasing some more videos soon, going over some more advanced stuff, and I have been running a series where I've been playing my Destruction Warlock. I'll have a comment down below if you want to check out some Warlock gameplay and just a little fun series I'm running. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment with any questions you have. Again, I'm not the rank 1 Warlock in the world, so I will definitely do my best to help you guys out, or if there's something I got wrong, leave a comment to help out the beginners or people picking up this class, and maybe even me, because I'm, again, like I said, I'm not rank 1. But I do want to shout out my Twitch. Check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/the Horcrux King. I'm going to start streaming every night. So if you guys want to leave a follow over there and come hang out with me and my friends in the community, I'd be happy to have you. The other thing I do want to shout out is my Patreon. I'm not really trying to actively promote it or offering any benefits, but if you enjoy my content or if this guide helped you out and you want to throw me $1 over on Patreon as a little tip, I heavily appreciate it, and it will slowly allow me to make more videos and spend more time playing WoW so I can produce content and entertain you guys, and yeah, just do what I enjoy and give back to the community however I can with guides and stuff. I'm never going to stop making guides, so I hope you guys enjoy these. And if you got all the way to the end of the video, leave a comment saying lemon lime, and I will heart your comment and love you forever. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Check out the Warlock series if you want to see more Warlock content. And yeah, bye.